Okay. On behalf of Russian Consultants, I'm going to give an introduction to reading. Okay. And I have these four modules are there: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. So, according to me, reading is the toughest module. 90% concentration I will be giving on reading only to students, because totally reading is different from the way you are done. In your school days or college days, you will be reading a comprehension or whatever it is based on questions. Some questions will be asked and some answers will be given already, so it is easy for you to understand and reproduce the answers easily. But here is totally different. Is in reading, IELTS reading is totally different from other exams you have practiced. So in the reading we have four to five patterns are there, like true false not given is there. Okay, headings. Okay, fill in the blanks, MCQs, and word list. Okay, all these four and the last one was aim of the writer will be there. Okay, this type of pattern only is there, this formatted is there. So most students lose marks in reading only. They are reading, speaking 7, listening 8 and writing 7, 8, but reading only they get low marks, 5.5, 6, 6.5 and time consumes also more. And other modules are done, you don't have to think much. For example, listening under the conversation will be already played, you can easily understand the conversation and write down the answers easily. And essay also, a topic will be given to you. If you have enough general knowledge, you can write the exams essay easily. And speaking also basically will be on about introduction, hobbies and all. So, but reading is totally different, where you have need to think a lot. You have to correlate a lot of things. You have to interact. Use analytics, like analytics also will be there. So, I am going to give an introduction to reading today. Actually, the total reading is nearly 4 to 5 hours of basic class. Only basic class is 4 to 5 hours. In depth, we will go in future classes. So, I'll ask the first question to our students is what is very important in reading. A lot of students will tell that we have to understand the passage. Some people tell time management is important. Some people tell concentration is important. But according to me, those things are not much important. The first and foremost important in reading is read instructions carefully. Read instructions carefully. This is the first and foremost important in reading. Because for example, they will write true false not given means you have to write true false not given only. You should not write yes no not given. If you write yes no not given for true false not given, you will not get marks. And no more than 3 words will be telling in filling the blanks. If you are writing 4 words means you will not get marks. Okay. So first you have to read the instructions carefully. Then the question, then the passage. This is the order you have to come. Okay. So first read the instructions, then the question, then the passage. So the priority you have to give. The priority is first one is instructions, priority 2 is question, priority 3 is passage. For most people they will be reading the passage first, then the question, and sometimes they may read instructions. They may read instructions also. First question they may write true. Then second question they may write yes automatically. So then also you will lose marks. So you should also check it out once you write true false not given, whether you have written all true false not given or yes no not given also, you have to check it from your side. For example, if a student is getting 40, for 40 he is getting 36 marks and he is getting only some 2-3 mistakes he had made in instruction mistakes, definitely hard scores will be from my side. Because the mistake is very costly. Because yes, 1 mark may change the whole band score. For example, 24 will be 5.5 or 25 will be 6 band. So even 1 mark will change it. So I will see to that instructions first important than the answers. Okay. So one student wrote the exam and she got only 5.5. The main reason is for 11 question for true false not given, she has written it's not given. So what is the use of understanding the passage? What is the use of doing time management? Everything will be total utter waste. So you read the instructions first, then the question, then the passage. In this format only you have to come for reading. Okay, another factor why students are losing marks is mostly they tell that the passage is very tough. We are not able to understand the passage. It's very complicated. Is there a lot of students used to say to me that reading passage is very tough. Actually, according to me, passage is not at all tough. Just give the same passage of reading article and give them, ask them to read it out means they are really nearly 90% they can understand. 90% they can understand. But when a question is posed, only problem arises. Okay. So according to me, more than understanding the passage, you have to understand the question first, then only the passage. Okay, so understand the question first, then the passage. In this order only should go. no problem lies with the passage. Passage is very crystal clear and everything is true. There is no false or not given. It is all these newspaper articles only or journals only they are taking it. Then Cambridge University is preparing questions for it. So the problem lies with the question, not with the passage. This is the first thought block you have to remove. So a lot of students we are discussing that it says a passage is told like this, a passage is told like this. I tell them leave the passage. Concentrate on the question. What is the question asking for? From question point of angle only you should think the passage. Right now students are thinking from the passage point of angle. From passage to questions they are thinking this is a wrong method. This is a wrong method. You have to think from question point of angle to the passage. This is where you can score better marks. You don't have to worry about what is the passage says. You have to worry about only question. So according to question only you have to answer the passage. So further I will give a simple example why question is important and why passage is very important. Why we have to think from the question point of angle. Okay. So this simple concept will be there. If this simple concept you are able to understand 100% you will score marks. For example, here is the question is there. I am telling you this is the question and this is a passage. Okay. The train leaves to Chennai at 5:30 p.m. Okay, this is the question is there. The passage is there. The train leaves to Chennai at 6:30 p.m. So here the question says the train leaves to Chennai at 5:30 p.m. The passage says the train leaves to Chennai at 6:30 p.m. So a lot of people think that passage they are telling wrong information. As I told you previously, the passage is always true. There is no wrong in it. So here the answer is true only, but we are writing answer false to the question only, not to the passage. Okay. So you should think from the question point of angle. The passage is 100% true. There is no way of changing the content. There is no. The question is wrong. The train leaves to Chennai at 5:30 p.m. is the question is telling, but passage is telling 6:30 p.m. So passage is not false. So the question is only false. So we write answer false. So the same train question is again is that the train leaves to Chennai in the evening. Okay. Here the passage says the train leaves Chennai at 5:30 p.m. Okay. So for example here the question says the train leaves in the evening to Chennai, but here passage is telling 5:30 p.m. So it's very simple. The train is going in the evening or not is the question is asking. So 5:30 p.m. is evening. So we write answer is true. Okay. So now we can see how it is totally going to change for not given answers. For example, the question is saying the train leaves to Chennai at 5:30 p.m. Okay, and passage says train leaves to Chennai in the evening. Okay, so now you can see it's going to be totally different kind of answer. The train leaves to Chennai at 5:30 p.m. is the question is asking. Passage is still in evening, but there is no information about the timings in the passage, so the answer is not given. This is the simple concept. If the simple concept, if you are able to understand, you can score better marks in IELTS. That also particularly in true false not given. Most students they don't have problem with the truth, but they have problem with the false and not given. When to put false, when to put not given, they have problems. So this is the basic thing. This train leaves to Chennai at 5:30 p.m. So we have an alternative there. The passage is given 6:30 p.m. So as I told you previously, passage is always true. There is no false or not given in the passage. So the question is only false. So we write the answer false. So second we will see the train leaves to Hyderabad in the evening. Question is asking whether the train leaves in the evening only. So passage is 5:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. is from evening 3:30 till 7 o'clock when say is evening. So the answer is true. But when the question changes its place, the train leaves to 5:30 p.m. The question is asking timings, but in passage there is no mention of timings. Only they mentioned evening only. So the answer is not given. So this result shows, this is the best example to show that you should always think from the question point of angle and not from passage point of angle. Passage may say anything, that is not our botheration. We are concentrating only on question. So not only in reading, listening, writing, speaking, first you have to understand the questions. Then only we have to go for the classes. But in our education system, all these years we have not been trained to questioning system. We just go by the system of syllabus. We just read the question and we forget the question, we'll see the content and memorize it and go it. So totally different exam. So always you think from the question point of angle and not from the passage point of angle. If you are thinking from the passage point of angle, definitely you will not get marks in not given and true. So you will always end up in confusion only. So think from the question point of angle and how to go for further classes and further videos you can see about it. Okay, thank you very much.